All right, looks like we are live on both the YouTube and the Twitch. I'll put my links in the chat and then we'll get going here. I did my 202nd show today of the Ramsey Show After Show. And that, of course, is on my YouTube channel as well. Alrighty, so you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation assessment with me at calendly.com/coach Steve Money. I am a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach. And that link is, of course, at the top of the chat and in the video description. You can email me about anything, coachstevemoney@gmail.com. And finally, donations, paypal.me/coach Steve Money. Alrighty. So let's go to hot and then new again, sort by new here. It's reddit.com/r/Dave Ramsey. And what happened today? Oh, Christy, it was a millionaire theme hour, the last hour of the show. And also Christy Wright today on her channel announced she would be leaving Ramsey Solutions to do seminary full time. So obviously, best of luck to her. Yep, right there. There you go. Christy Wright confirms she's leaving. And apparently, I guess she, yeah, that's what will be the video on her. Yeah, I answered this one on the after show, Ramsey Show After Show. And the gentleman owns 2015 F-150 outright, and he paid $19K cash for it, and he can sell it for about $25K. He's concerned about messing it up, using it for work, and he doesn't need it that much anyway, once or twice a month, so he could just rent one. And so, yeah, if you can downgrade and then you can put that. He's going to put the difference towards a home and investments. Yeah. So definitely you can do that. Was the answer on that? How about that? Any luck with realtor ELPs? We did that one. Did that one too. This person working at CarMax as a sales rep. Asking, sometimes feels bad as I'm screwing their lives up because of it says I see a lot of people come in and they purchase cars from me at extremely high rates. Okay, that's not purchasing, that is financing it. Different than purchasing. I mean, I guess you could say purchasing it with debt, but basically that's financing it. So yeah, I would do that. I would not have worked at my last job at Menards, my last part-time job. I would not have worked there if they had made me push their credit card. All right. This person noticed that on Spotify, the shows are in reverse order. All right. Yeah, I don't know if they read this. This is not this subreddit is not /r/Dave Ramsey. is not run by Ramsey Solutions. It's run by fans. But I did notice this earlier: 70,000. 69,955 baby steppers have joined this subreddit. So that's pretty cool. Alrighty. Every dollar budget question. This one was they have to pay for a doctor $100 every week and then gets reimbursed for $70. How do you budget? I just said put down the 100 each week for as an expense, and then when you get the money back, then you just use that money as extra. You just apply that to whatever baby step you're on, and this person was in baby step 1. That one. All right. So let's see. That's from Taco Master 7. All right. It is Taco Tuesday. What call final mortgage payment? Hi all. What key things should someone do before making their final mortgage payment or after? Can you share your experience and lessons learned? Also, does homeowners insurance cost less once you're mortgage free? No, I don't think so. If you haven't had your homeowners insurance updated yet, you may want to look into that as far as how much your equity is now. If you haven't done that recently, see how much your equity is in now, because you would want to insure it for the entire amount. Let's see. Share your experience. Final. Yeah, you have to. Now you'll have to pay that. It likely came out of an escrow account beforehand. Most lenders require that you make the payments into an escrow account for insurance and taxes, and now you'll have to handle those by yourself. That's about all. Yep, call an insurance company, let you know you're making payments. Like I say, and you might want to up that amount to cover the full equity, and to see if you can get a better rate. I want to shop around for that. Contact bank, get a payoff letter. One thing that helped us finish a couple months earlier was considering our emergency fund would be reduced by the 6 months of mortgage payments that we didn't have to plan for. So we reduced the fund by that amount and plowed through. Our homeowners didn't change, but I did speak to them and they did say they updated the details to reflect this because it eliminates some type of liability, but I can't remember the details. Need to shop rates again and see if there's a chance I could have it reduced. Absolutely. Absolutely, yeah, and you can if your mortgage payment, which it should be, is one of your expenses. You can subtract that from your monthly expenses, and then go with the lower emergency fund as well. Cool, cool, cool. Alrighty, that's from new_dialogue. Choosing a business checking account. Good lord, does a decent one exist? Just formed an LLC, of which I'll be the only employee, and trying to dry skin. It's been below freezing here for like 3 or 4 days in a row. I'm told a lotion of some type would help. Let's see. Got distracted. LLC, only employee. I'm trying to choose a bank credit union to open a business checking account with. The account will be almost exclusively to pay myself, since I won't have any regular expenses or employees. Money goes in the account. I send it through Zelle to my regular account and done. All right. These are the ones I've seen so far. I'm not looking at them. However, it seems like for each person who likes one company, 5 other people hate it. What's everyone here prefer? Oh, thanks for the advice. Decided to go with Novo. I I don't know. Yeah, I would just go on what their fees are. Like if they have a requirement on the amount of deposits, a requirement on the balance. If they charge you anything to withdraw money if you need it, I mean, that's your business's money. So, yeah. Oh, the person does tell them you can have an issue using Zelle to transfer out of a business account. Zelle is for person to person payments. Yeah. So, I mean, you can write yourself a check or just take the cash out. Ready? What would you do? Motor underscore leopard underscore 4513. 27-year-old, married with a 2-year-old, another on the way. Congratulations. Single income, 50 to 55K. Car, 05K, worth about the same. Okay. Interesting. Interesting that you owe money on it. And it's down to 5K worth. Gosh, you've been paying on that thing a long time, or you financed a used car. Car 2, 7,500, worth about 15K. Biggest question is to keep cars and find a way to sell them and get rid of monthly payments. Monthly payment is total just over $500. I can't think logically about the best approach here and how to go about it. Other debt about 70K in student loans. All right. Yeah, this is a problem. A bunch of people have an issue where if it was happening to a friend of theirs or somebody else, they could think logically about it. But if it's happening to them, they're too close to the situation. And so, probably if there's nothing wrong with car 1 and it works fine, pay that off as quickly as possible. And one way you can do that is sell this second car. Sell that second car, because that's going to be the one that probably, geez, that probably is like a good 350, and the 5K one might be 150. So yeah, you sell that one and pay this one off, and then you have money left over to throw to your student loans as well. If there is another car needed for the non-working spouse, I don't know which one it is because you said single income. He didn't say mine, so. Oh, and that wouldn't have helped anyway because you don't say whether male or female. 86 comments on this. Interesting. Everybody's got an opinion, Doug. Oh yeah, no, you wouldn't apply it to your student loans. Another on the way means you would pile up cash, so you would make that change, but you would keep that cash until mother and baby are home safe. All right, this from K Westwood 186, baby step 3. And that, of course, is your 3 to 6 months of expenses for your full emergency fund. And this is under the what would Dave do? And before I read it, emergency fund worthy. That's what I'm thinking about. Stuff you know about is not an emergency. Christmas is not an emergency. That kind of thing. So you wouldn't use that for an emergency. All right, we have a dying stove. The 2 back burners don't work. Do you cook 4 things at the same time? Oh, we're still saving up to have a fully funded emergency fund, right? So you do that before you do anything else. I have enough in the emergency fund to buy one, but it would leave. No, that's not an emergency. We've been making it work with just the 2 front burners, right? What's wrong with that? You're not the Queen of Sheba. You don't need to have 4 at the same time. So let's see. Edit plan is currently to just save up emergency fund and then save to get a gas range in. Okay. If I were to replace it, it would mean I would not be doing that. Okay. Edit 2, thanks for advice. Decided to stick with my original plan, finish the emergency fund, then save up to put a gas line in and get a nice range. Okay. All right. Well, that was easy enough, but yeah, not an emergency. And you don't even have a full emergency fund yet. Alrighty. Who's this? Pilot Flyer 2019 says the point of emergency fund is to have the cash on hand to cover when things break so you don't have to go into debt, even for a little thing. Use your emergency fund because this is not emergency fund though. This is not emergency. Pilot Flyer is wrong. Pilot Flyer, I was giving you all props because I thought you can is to have the cash on hand to cover emergencies, not when things break. But you can still use if you have 2 burners that still work, then it's not an emergency. You can still cook stuff. So that is my bad. Giving out praise freely today, apparently. All right, Success Saturday. That is a thread where you put in your successes. Be encouraging, kind, and supportive. Trolling, rudeness, and Dave bashing are not welcome. 2021, all my spending data. Baby step 2, and this is from Peter Megan Ridge Trail. And that person did another one that I talked about. I think the one that I did on the Ramsey Show After Show today. I want to do a project and go through all of my bank statements and credit charges. Pay it off each month. Not advised by Dave Ramsey to do that. No credit cards at all. To see how much we spent and where for all of 2021. Any ideas on how to best do this? Apps or stock spreadsheets? Anyone do this? What did you learn? I'm new to budgeting. You probably don't need to go through everything. Like a couple months. To see how much you spent where. And so, yeah, being new to budgeting, that can be a problem. Also, use credit card charges. You pay it off each month. You might spend more. You have to budget the amount for the things that you would be charging if you're doing it's a zero-based budget. So you are accounting for every dollar in advance. So, yeah. Advice, of course, to get rid of the credit card. Don't do that. You don't need cash back. You don't need frequent flyer miles. You don't need any of that in order to be successful. But yeah, it's good to see if you got too many expenses where you don't know how much you spent. Yeah, it's a good idea to look through that. I don't know that you need to do it all the whole year though. Let's see what the first person said. American Express releases annual report. A report that categorizes all your charges. Yeah, that's true. A couple of them might do that. Hands down, Mint. That's an app. I have my data with them since it tracks even your investments. Not great in that, but does. Cars, real estate, auto categorizes. No. And this person in baby step 7 with the baby step 7 flare. Get rid of the credit card. Is there a source to see which personalities on which day? I don't care for some. Most of the personalities only want to listen to certain ones on the podcast. Short of starting each one to see who it is that day, is there a listing somewhere? Or is there a way to tell? No, there's not. But there is no search. Oh, and Bonnie Ahmad. Bonnie was kind enough to let me post my John Deloney song And that, of course, is in my music playlist on my YouTube channel. If you'd like to hear that. Also, I don't know if it was her or a different mod, but they let me also post before that my Baby Step song. Again, also in my music playlist. And she's going to lock the post down before it turns into Personality Bash Fest. Yeah, they don't tell in advance. George Camel used to back in the halcyon days of when the video was live, and he was the YouTube host and had segments like where they would be running radio commercials on the radio. They run some commercials on the live Ramsey show, but they also had other time to fill. So they had a YouTube host taking care of us, and they would like have us talk, have like another segment and talking to the debt-free streamers, that kind of thing, and whoever else was interviewing people in the lobby. And George would sometimes tell us that. He still comes in the chat occasionally, and so we try to get information from him on there. But yeah, there's no telling in advance. The earliest you can find out, unless the chat mod, which is he's a YouTube producer, unless he happens to tell one of us in the chat, or somebody put something on their social media, which happens a lot when, like, Rachel will normally put that on there if she's going to be on. Yeah, no source. The earliest, if there's no advance of any kind, the earliest you can find out is 1 p.m. Central Time, when the live audio starts, when they start recording that live audio at 1 p.m. Central Time. 106 actually, because there's 6 minutes of radio commercials. So 106 Central Time is when that happens, and so you can listen to that through either the Ramsey app, Ramsey Network app is what that's called, or the website ramseysolutions.com/show, and then click on audio, and that'll give you the radio show. Alrighty. It's posted by Spirited-Cry 1339. Tackling debt advised. Hubby and I have $50K in debt. Want to get as much down in 6 months as possible. All right. We are staying with family for now. That's extreme. If you did that just to pay off that debt, if you weren't already living with family. And have about $3,000 a month to tackle debt. Excellent. While also building savings. You don't do that. I have a Dave book, but want to hear success stories and any advice. If you're going to pay down debt, you're in baby step 2. You don't build savings. You have $1,000 emergency fund, and that's it. That's it. Now, if you have some kind of issue where you need to move out, where you don't want to, where like you don't want to stay with your family, or they don't want you there or there's some other reason why you will have to be moving, obviously, and just save up for moving expenses. And that would be a situation where you would just go rent. You wouldn't try to buy a house in this kind of situation. So there's no building savings. You would just maybe save enough to move and maybe first month's rent. But since you have about $3,000 a month to tackle debt, shouldn't take that long. So yeah, no savings, but do put all that money to your $50K in debt. See what other people think. Find anything you own you're not really using, sell it. Yeah. Focus on motivation while we're in the race. Flow probably means follow the baby steps. Listen, or maybe flow. Maybe they're just talking cool. This is who this. Talk less, read more. 007. Listen to his podcast 24/7. Use every dollar app for budgeting. Keep miscellaneous spending to donut. Exactly. Zello player. No, cello player, I guess, maybe. The baby steps will work, but you got to do them in order. Right now, you seem a bit all over the place. Debt, savings, mortgage, retirement. Yeah. 6 months at $3K. Month is $18K. It's not enough to buy a house. Not enough to wipe your debt. It's not enough to start retirement. Right? You're not anywhere near doing a retirement. That's enough to clean up a lot of small debts. Right? Right. What kind of mortgage is that? What are you talking about? 3,000 will be able to get you into an apartment, right? The reason I added savings is out. The reason I added savings is out, doubled up living situation. It's just not working. Okay, killing our mental health, but we have no options at all to move out with no savings or to even get in a rental and bad credit. You can still find somewhere to rent. Somebody will rent with to you. Keep looking for a rental. Any advice again? Is pretty. We want to be able to get into a rental, yeah, or even better, own house by July. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. I have no knowledge of investments, but interested. Not yet. You don't pay off debt first. Never bought a home. Don't know the first thing about it, but both of our credit scores are under 500 right now. It doesn't matter. Definitely taking in overtime, active side hustles, also present parenting. Okay, great. Yeah, so the neat thing about this is just like the calls Dave takes. They say what they want to say, and then Dave asks questions to get more information, and you do that here, and then the OP, original poster, can answer those. Bex and Buffy recommend a PU. This is their story. The person did ask for 3% down. Yikes. They recommend 10% down at least for a first-time home buyer. Detailed written budget. Bonnie MSM, one of the mods again. Baby step 7, just follow the plan. It really does work. Check people's flare in the sub to see how many of us have a flare indicating we are past baby step 2. Right, hers is baby step 7. We are your success stories. The best part, by summer 2023, you will be a success story as well. Yep, stop contributing to savings, and if you're doing investing for retirement, you don't do that either while paying off debt. You pay off debt first. All right. Which statute of limitations? If I incurred a debt in the state of California for a new HVAC and now live in ET, what's the statute of limitations applies? Cali has 4-year and North Carolina is a 3-year. Probably the state it's in, probably. This was an 18-month, same as cash purchase, and I missed the 18-month deadline. Paid it regularly up until that point, and now just didn't deal with it. It now shows as a write-off on my credit reports and making it very difficult for me to get a mortgage. Yeah, you're supposed to pay those. Alrighty. Baby step 7 question posted by T Tandem. Curious for those people who have paid off their house, what percentage of your net worth is it? Do my chat app thing is in the, there we go. Does that feel higher than you'd like? Are you happy with that percentage? I'm mulling paying cash for a house right now, but wondering how it feels to those who have done it. I think I've gotten used to seeing that money in the account, and it makes me nervous not to have it. but that's probably not an ideal way to think about it. 41 male, single. Um, yeah, I mean, there's not really you should have this much in paid off house. That's not really the deal. It's what, whatever you can afford, to get it there, while maintaining um, full emergency fund. Sits in cash always. You don't use that for anything else. It's not an investment. Repeat after me, right, Rachel? Repeat after me. Not an investment. Um, but yeah, if you can pay for renting now, I'm only paying cash for a house. Yeah, pay the whole thing off if you have it. But as far as the house to net worth, it doesn't matter. For most people, it's basically half and half. Retirement and house is about the same. And then they have, more, maybe like 40, 40, 20, that kind of thing, 20 and other things. But yeah, but there's no set percentage. Everybody wants to know what percentage of this. Like, people want to know what percentage should groceries be. It doesn't work like that. So find out what you like. If you are going to be getting a mortgage for it, it's should be 25% of your net income, and that's how much house you can afford without being house poor and not being able to do the other steps like the 15% of gross pay that should be going to retirement and saving for kids' college as well, and then paying off that mortgage faster. But yeah, if you just have it in the bank, it's not doing any good in the bank except being there for stuff like buying a house. So if you want a house, paying cash for it is the best thing you can do. Do you think people lie when doing the debt pre-screen? I did this one before. I did this on, I think, the after show one time. How many mutual funds? Did that as well. You can have as many as you want. There's probably not. You can have. It's 25% in each international and small, mid, large cap funds, and so you only need 4 funds. If you want to have more and split it up more, maybe 8, maybe 2 of each, but you don't need to have a bunch of other ones. I had a client that had, I want to say something like, she had 2 different brokerages, two different investment advisors, and combined they had her in like 35 different funds. And so the only reason to do that I can think of would be that they get paid for each fund differently. Like, they get one little stipend or something for each fund rather than just percentage on what the whole thing will make. Granted, some of it was like bonds and stuff, and they did have her in target fund stuff and et cetera, but she changed that and is much happier now. Suitable face, 8851. What is a suitable face? I just want to say this out of forums is by far favorite. Love the way we all think and how we have similar goals. Some of us. It's annoying to see posts on Ask Car Sales with people talking about leasing cars and bragging about their monthly payments. Yup, agreed. That's normal people stuff. Alrighty. This is by Worker B Stressed. Like a worker bee. Like buzz bee. Buzz goes the bumblebee. Tweedledee goes the bear. That's a lesser known Huey Lewis and the News song. I think it's called Buzz Buzz Buzz, I think. Being honest about my financial situation with the parents, yeah or nay. When I was growing up, my parents found Dave and eventually became debt free when I was about 13. Unfortunately, for a number of reasons, it didn't really stick for me. That is unfortunate. When I got married, we wound up in various amounts of debt. We're also on the end of lower income, especially during the pandy. Have had to utilize food banks at different points. Wow. My dad, especially a few times in life, has mentioned to my brother and I things like, I'm glad with everything going on in the world that you guys grew up with Dave Ramsey. Yeah. And things to that effect. I mean, we did listen to the radio show, but that's really the extent of learning that we did. Well, if you listened to everything that he said, maybe your brother did that. If you listened and understood it, or if you didn't understand it, you asked your dad about it, then you would have learned it. Let's see. I don't recall my parents really ever teaching me about money, debt, etc. If you listen to the radio show a lot, you should have gotten all of it, unless you had other things in your head at the same time. And we're concentrating on that more. Heaven knows they don't teach that in high schools, or they didn't for me anyway. They do teach Ramsey Solutions high school curriculum in I think it was like 48% and it went down. I think it's 45% of American high schools. They do teach his curriculum. It's called Foundations in Finance, I believe. All right, so taking a part-time job whenever my child was in school, yep, as well as most nights to help toward the debt payoff. And my parents have supportedly said, yeah, it'll be nice for you to have an outlet besides being a stay-at-home mom, etc., but nothing hinting at or asking about debt payoff. So yeah, well, my husband and I are in baby step 2 now and are working hard to get out of it. It's slow going, and my parents don't know just what kind of position we're in. I realize maybe I should call Dr. Geloni for this kind of question. Haha. It's a bit of a different one than standard financial advice, but I thought y'all might have thoughts on it. Edit. Ugh. For some reason, it doesn't look like I can comment, but I appreciate everyone's thoughts and advice. Oh, you may have to have a certain amount of karma to be able to comment. Maybe. That's a Reddit thing. Well, it's really, I mean, you're an adult, you're living your own deal with your husband, and you guys are doing the baby steps, and I assume you're doing the best you can. And so parents don't need to know about it. If you think that they could be helpful with advice or something like that, then you can talk to them about it. But otherwise, you can be an adult and do it yourself, and it doesn't matter if they say something about, like, it's a good thing we all learned this together. So, by listening to a radio show. All right, but that's so that's up to you whether you want to share that with them or not, whether you think that'd be a good idea or not. Alrighty, this from Melodic Coffee 9325. Baby steps 4, 5, and 6 flare right there. How do you deal with people? I don't like talking about my flare. How do you deal with people making negative assumptions about your financial situation? What other people think don't matter. It just doesn't matter what other people think. Unless, I mean, the only problem with that would be like if it's a potential boss, that kind of thing. something that affects your life. If it's just somebody over there, even if it's a friend, um, well, let's see what they say. So this is a problem I faced when I was on baby step 2 all the way up till now, 4, 5, and 6. Now you're on 4, 5, and 6. I mean, that's better than, most of the country, probably. So anyway, my extended family mocks my financial choices. Yeah, okay. You know what you do there? You blank the haters. You know what I'm saying? Haters gonna hate, so that's fine. I don't talk about finances with them other than to say that I prefer to avoid debt, and then I change the subject. But they constantly bring it up. Don't talk about it. It has become all that they want to discuss with me in one way or the other. My father only wants to talk about how old my cars are. They're 2012 and 2016 models, so not that old. One cousin makes fun of me for being interested in investing. I'm not even sure she knows I invest. I have never told her about my investing. She might be making assumptions. My favorite one is family or friends who assume I am poor or in financial need because of the square footage of my house or what I drive. Living well within one's means seems to be very triggering for my family and in-laws, and that is not any of your problem. One family member even calls me selfish because I don't use debt except the mortgage. How is that selfish? That's weird. Favorite methods for dealing with this stuff is change the subject, avoid the topic, or if they are pushy, just say I'm doing well and don't want to discuss that topic with them. So how do you all deal with negativity around pursuing financial peace? Yeah, you just have. Seems like those family and friends, if they're all like you described, the ones that you described, they're assholes. Doesn't matter what they think. Let's see, I'm interested in some of the other ones. You document it here, document it everywhere. In 15, 20 years, you can give them the finger and say, look at me now, bitch. All right, fair enough. Or you can send them a link to this post. That would be fun, wouldn't it? Let's see. Literally told them to F off. Yep, stop being so nice. Tell them they can all kiss your ass. I'm living my life. You do you, let me do me. If they don't like it, then tell them you don't have to come around anymore. I get you're trying to be polite. Yep, that isn't working. Be less polite until they get the message, right? I mean, it's family. You don't want to alienate them if at all possible. But at some point you gotta, and I mean, especially, I mean, you didn't say how well the rest of them are doing, but generally, your broke friends, your normal friends who have debt, etc., they're normal people. So, and a lot of those people don't understand what we're doing here. So, but that's no reason for them to behave like they're behaving. So, it's the issue of people not respecting your boundaries. Paging Dr. Cloud, Paging Dr. Cloud. He wrote a book called Boundaries. I don't spend time with people like that. That's a good idea. Console yourself with the fact that when broke people are making fun of your financial plan, you're on the right track. Exactly. You can let them know you don't want to talk about money anymore. If that doesn't work, it's probably time to minimize your time with them. The answer on how you deal with people like that is you don't. Buy them copies of Ramsey Solution books as birthday and holiday presents until they shut up. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of F them. I haven't experienced to your level. Guess my peeps don't care about me as much as your peeps. Start passing out the millionaire next door. No. No, that's not. That was a poster. Another post. That wasn't this original poster. Can't get away from it. Haters gonna hate. Someone's always gonna have crappy things to say about you, no matter what. Right? If it's not about this, there would be something else. Yeah. Polite as well. Thank you for your concern. I'm good. Yep. Family seems pretty toxic. I thought so too. Yeah. If you're in baby steps 4, 5, or 6, that means you're doing great. Like I said, doing better than most of the country. And more another 4, 5, 6 person. It's no different than any other comments or situation you deal with when people pass judgment on you. Yeah, I mean, it's just if you're just worried about what they think, don't, because it doesn't matter what they think. You can think whatever they want to. That doesn't affect you and what you're doing with your family. All right, did I? Can't remember if I did this one or not. Basic zero throwaway. Throwaway as a count. It's like people want to like separate activities on one account from another one. So that's a throwaway account. They use it for a specific purpose. And this person has the new account because sensitive information. All right, buying first help. What would Dave do? New account because sensitive information. Longtime Dave listener, 29, single, no kids, debt free, 30K per year income. That's not much. With 10K in savings and a 780 credit score, doesn't matter. My family has offered to cover closing costs. My goal is to buy a cheap row house in the city and convert the first floor into an office studio to grow an online business and work for myself. The problem with that is if you don't know how to convert the first floor into office studio, if you don't know how to build stuff, and you're like, well, I'll just watch some videos on YouTube and then I'll be able to do it. Everybody can't do that stuff. So you get into trouble there trying to do that. So that is not a good idea. I've been working doubles nearly every day this year to save up money. Hopefully pull the trigger this spring. Need help deciding which cost of house is right for me. Let's see, 29, single. So are you living with family now? And maybe that's why they've offered to cover closing costs to get you out of there. But yeah, maybe a higher paying job. As far as I'm concerned, there are two primary options available. Okay, and this is where most people get in trouble. They always call Dave and say, Dave, should I do this or this? And then Dave tells them, well, what about option 3 or option 4? They didn't even consider. People paint themselves into a corner thinking, well, I have to choose this one or that one. And that's not the case most of the time. Two primary, they didn't say primary options, so give them a break on that. Both are fixer-uppers. See, same thing that was said before about it. Not everybody can do that. Fixer-uppers that have more than likely been tenant occupied. Think 5-bedroom, 1 bath, cheap everything. In mid to low quality rental areas. The first option I would only consider because of price. I can get an 1,800 square feet house for $65K that is mostly move-in ready. Which is not great at 45 minutes each way. That's the commute. I skipped a line. That is just blighted homes and adds an extra 10 minutes commute over the other option. It is cheap and loud. And yeah, see, you're talking about if your options are where you move to, you can move anywhere you want. And you might be able to get a higher paying job elsewhere. Quality of roommate, I could get the house hack here, would be low, and my mortgage would be under $250 a month. I worry the noise would interfere with my work. Okay. Other options, slightly smaller house, closer to the heart of the city. Area could walk or bike places, in an area I probably enjoy living in my early 30s. If I got a roommate, the quality of tenant would be higher. However, the cost of the house would be roughly double. Yeah. Probably need to dump 20K in either place and respectable while doing the work myself. I mean, assuming that you know how to do that stuff and you don't mind living in that place while that's happening, then, I guess go for it. But you don't make that much money. You don't have savings, I think. Didn't you say you don't have 10K only 10K in savings, which is 10% down on a 100K house. but you don't want to leave yourself without emergency fund either. This is obviously house I want, but I'm afraid to creep my mortgage and lifestyle prices higher as I really want to live cheaply and freely. You would have to on a 30K income. Come on. You're already living cheaply and freely. While I transform my life in a couple of years. Of course, I would love to increase my income, but there's a blighted area. I'm not going to buy a house. Fantasy numbers. Top priority is getting the space and time to make the work that I believe matters. Any advice or perspective would be greatly appreciated. Think about moving from there. And not in that blighted area, wherever that is. Otherwise, if you know how to do it and you're willing to take on the risk, that's on you. But of course, it could backfire on you. This from OP Gatland. What time is it? Okay, OP Gatland. Baby step 2. Wife and I got married at the beginning of November and had the honeymoon in December. People have a lot of hard time with follow. We've been following the baby steps since last January and have so far paid off $36K in debt. Great. With $30K to go while also paying cash for our wedding and honeymoon. That's great. Excuse me. I think I did this one before. After coming back from the honeymoon, we want to crack down again on the debt again after being in savings mode in August to cover final wedding costs. This month we were hit with a $300 car repair, $800 medical bill, $500 family expense. I'd rather not detail. Yeah, I did this. Basically, lives love with us only putting $200 extra towards our current debt of car. As the nerd, I've been itching to go. Yeah, I mean, you can't. You're gonna have. That's what emergency fund is for. When you have emergencies, if these are emergencies. If the $500 family expense was their problem that you didn't have to take care of, I wouldn't have taken care of it. You don't have that much extra money. And you're in debt. Yeah, just because this month sucked, you can still make this whole plan work? Absolutely you can. Yeah, absolutely you can. Just have to stay focused, work more, sell stuff you're not using regularly, cut more expenses. You don't need all those subscriptions, etc., etc. You don't need Starbucks at all, much less every day. That kind of thing. Let's see if I did this already. Yeah, I did these already. Yep. Let's go ahead. We got 8:53. I'll just do a couple more. Let's try this. Not sure what to do next. This by Fund Responsibility 734. We will be debt-free minus the house in 3 months. Excellent. We have paid off $140,000 of student loan debt and $30K of cars. My husband. I just saw myself on that monitor up there. I need to replace my chair or fix it or something. We paid off $140,000 of student loan debt and $30,000 of cars. My husband and I will be lucky to have the opportunity for me to stay home if I wanted to. We both have well-paying 6-figure income, so it will be a lifestyle change for sure. Yep. But I mean, that gives you one person making 6 figures does give you the option to make changes. Excuse me. Ugh. We have an 8-month-old son who we pay a nanny near half my monthly net income to watch due to the pandy, and us not wanting him to start daycare this young. I did this one too. We have a decent amount in retirement already, but obviously we'd be losing my income and retirement savings. We also have quite a bit of equity in our home, but in this market, it hesitant to sell. Says there's nothing out there. Would you take a pause from your career to grow your family, or continue to work to build financial wealth faster? That's a you decision. I mean, I would stick, I guess, with what you're doing for the time being, because you do, even though it costs your half your monthly net income for the nanny. So you see, that's a wash there. If you if you don't have to pay the nanny, then you get the benefit of staying home, and plus, you don't have that expense. So in reality, you're saving that money in addition for you being home. Um, so I understand it's less money, total money coming in, but you also don't have as much expenses going out. Um, Decent amount of tire already, but obviously losing my income in retirement. So, losing income in retirement saving. Oh, that you would be able to contribute to from your income. I got you. I got you. You can be a stay-at-home mom and do other things while your husband's home. You can get a part-time job or do some work out of your house or something like that, or deliver pizzas and do the Uber or something like that. You can find something else to do that makes some money. But as far as making the choice to stay home, if you can pay all your bills off and you're going to be debt free, maybe you want to stick it out until you also have the 3 to 6 months of emergency fund, 3 to 6 months of expenses in your fully funded emergency fund. But until you have that, then yeah. Yep. Yep. You just have to decide what is best for you. You and your husband need to make that decision. But for me, the answer is to definitely stick with it while you get debt free, and also while you get the full emergency fund. And what that gives you is the option to do any of this. Alrighty. Where are we? Yep, that's me right there on the left. Alrighty, so upcoming streams. The Ramsey Show After Show. And that is Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, right after the Ramsey Show is over. Monday nights, when this show should have been last night, but Reddit would not load for me. All the other websites work, just not Reddit. So that's why I'm doing Ramsey Coach Support tonight. But normally Mondays, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, would be alternating tech support and Ramsey Coach Support. So this coming Monday will be tech support again. Wednesday, no set time. That will be an upload of the pre-recorded Curse of Oak Island No Cap recap. And that's whenever I can get that Tuesday night episode watched and the pictures acquired and the script for it written and recording it and then uploading it. So it's whenever I can get that done. But normally that would be on Wednesday by 8 p.m. Eastern Time, which is Wednesday and Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Old Man Video Gaming. I play single player games. All right, and have fun times doing so, of course. I also do extra streams. Extra do bonus Old Man Video Gaming. Obviously gonna go to sleep now. Very tired. Sleep schedule is crazy. Schedule free financial coaching consultation. You can hit that link or the link up at the top of the chat or in the video description. And that will take you to calendly.com. And you can see my name there and financial coaching consultation assessment there. And then it'll give you a calendar, and you can pick the month. You can change the month, pick the date. You can do Valentine's Day, and then the time, and then Calendly will let me know you want that appointment. Then I'll get back in touch with you and let you know what kind of info I need to give you an accurate financial coaching assessment. That P right there is the PayPal link, and that takes you to paypal.me/CoachSteveMoney. And yeah, that was just me slouching, not the chair going down. Get paypal.me/CoachSteveMoney.me. M is in Mary, E is in everyone. M is in money. And so you can donate if you think this channel adds any entertainment value to your life. The globe right here, that is Instagram. Add me on the ground. It's Coach Steve Money, no spaces. And of course, you can email me about anything you'd like, anything about financial stuff, Ramsey stuff, Oak Island. What else do I have on my channel? Computer stuff, video gaming stuff, music stuff. I've written some Ramsey centric songs, and those are in the music playlist. And I guess that'll do it. All right. Make smart financials every day. Have a good night.